What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Okay, guys, we got an interesting problem on our hands here. Then the Fed is gonna not like it here at all. Take a look here at this. You can see this headline here, unacceptably high. The Fed's plans to keep hiking rates, but with the typical home selling for just $4,000 less than 2022's all-time highs. Don't expect a big housing correction to follow. Take a listen here. Minutes from the latest Federal Reserve meeting released this week show the Fed feels the country's inflation rate remains unacceptably high. While the central bank chose to hold the federal funds rate at 5% to 5.2% in its last meeting back in June, and basically chose to pause interest rate hikes this last time. The recently released minutes revealed the Fed has further rate hikes planned for this year, even if they won't come as fast and furious as they have so far. But wait, if that news, along with sticky inflation after a long winter of continuously climbing mortgage rates and steadily falling home prices, has you wringing your hands over the future of the housing market, don't despair yet. Despite the dreary outlook, data shows the market might not be crumbling just yet. In fact, the median U.S. home is selling for around $383,000, only about $4,000 less, or less than 1% less than the all-time high set in just about a year ago, June of 2022. Here's part of the problem. High mortgage rates may be keeping some buyers at bay, but they're also deterring plenty of potential sellers who are locked in low rates from just a couple of years ago. New listings plunged 27% compared to last year during the 4 weeks ending June 25th, the largest drop since the start of the pandemic. That's also pushed down the number of homes for sale, down 11%, the first double-digit decline in over a year. So we're in several predicaments here. This is keeping home prices high. For example, in my neighborhood, there's actually literally one home for sale. One. So think about that. If you want to buy a home, you have one option. Take it or leave it. Okay? See the problem here? Yeah, you can let me know your thoughts in your local market. Let me know down below in the comment section. This is a problem. Rates are high. The Fed is going to see that inflation in several different markets are still really high because of this. Okay, so they're going to say, prices are still really, really high. What do we need to do? We need to raise rates even more to try to bring down prices. And thus the cycle is going to continue. They're going to keep raising interest rates. And this is not going to affect just homes, whether you're buying a new home or not. This is going to affect pretty much almost every American because it raises interest rates on your credit cards. It raises interest rates on your cars when you go to buy a new car, to buy a used car, to buy lease a car. If you have credit cards, remember those are adjustable rates, so they can literally pretty much every time they raise the interest rates, most of the time they raises your credit cards because they literally don't even have to send you notice, even though they probably do. It's just built into your statements. Okay, when you get your credit card statements, and it's several pages long, it's probably just in the fine print there. Okay, if you look at your statement from now and go grab a credit card statement from a year ago, you'll see that the rate now is higher than what it was a year ago. And if you go grab another statement from another year ago, so 2 years ago, you'll see the rate now is much higher than what it was 2 years ago. So this is the problem here. And if the average credit card rate is over 20% now, okay, The highest credit card rates are over 30% now. Okay. If you have bad credit or if you miss some payments or anything like that. Okay. So, what this means, the average credit card rate being over 20% for the average person, this means you're paying 20% interest every single year. Okay. So, it means if you have a $10,000 credit card balance, you're paying $2,000 per year in interest per year. So that means every single year, $2,000 of interest goes to the credit card company, and that does not even eat away at what you owe them, the principal. So it's like throwing $2,000 a year away. It's interest. It's just, it doesn't even bite down what you owe them, the principal. Okay. So every year, $2,000 is gone. 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. So if you can just, simple math, in 5 years, you've given the credit card company $10,000. In this simple example, you owe $10,000 to the company, the principal, but in 5 years, you've paid them $10,000 in interest, but you still owe them $10,000 in principal. This is how, the old saying, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer over time, because it's just, in this case, the rich is the credit card companies or the banks or the government. Okay. Well, in this case, maybe not the government is the best example, because they're paying $1 trillion a year in interest. Okay. The government is $31 trillion in debt. So maybe we'll delete the government from that example. But the banks, yeah, that was a nightmare, right? But in this case, the banks or the credit card companies, right? Yeah, they're making that 20% per year. And if you're paying that credit card debt, you're giving them $2,000 a year every single year. Boy, what an example that was. You're paying them that $2,000 a year every single year in interest, or in this case, maybe like $200 a month. Okay, a little bit less than $200 a month. Yeah, and every time the Fed raises interest rates to try to, bring down inflation, um, the credit card companies can raise interest rates. They can raise interest rates anytime on their own. They don't even need the Fed, but that's their excuse to raise interest rates. Okay, and chances are they are raising them when the Fed does. Okay, it's their perfect excuse to do so. If you go to buy a car, lease a car, used car, new car, anything like that, you go to refinance a home, you go to buy a home, same thing. Also, same thing if you're a renter. If you're a renter, this is the perfect excuse for a landlord to raise your rent. When the new year comes up, the new rental agreement comes up, and not even it's just an excuse, this is actually a legitimate reason, because their costs go up. Okay, because property taxes go up, electricity is going up, and their costs are going up. Okay, a lot of landlords are on revolving mortgages. They're on arms. They have to pay more costs as well. So this is raising costs for everybody. This is raising costs for everybody. A lot of this is really just because of inflation. It's extremely high, and also because of the interest rates. Okay, so this is a massive, massive problem. And honestly, a lot of people don't understand this stuff. And if you don't, at least you got to hear it here. And this is stuff that I've learned for many, many years. And this is actually the reverse of this stuff. So if you pay your credit cards off every single month, if the credit card statement comes and you just have it set to auto pay, or if you've paid them off, the credit cards will actually pay you with rewards. Yeah, so if you have a rewards credit card, which a lot of them have nowadays, if you pay it off in full every month, you get 2% rewards, or some have like 5% rewards with gas or something like that. The credit card companies will actually pay you with rewards. With rewards. Yeah, it's really, really cool because, yeah, so think about that. If you pay it off in full every month, not only do you pay zero interest, they will actually pay you with rewards. With rewards, it's actually, yeah, it's amazing. So think about that. You can either get 2% cash back or 1% cash back. Some of them have 5% cash back on like rotating categories or 5% cash back for gas. Yeah, really, really cool. I'll see if I have a link to one or two of them. I'll have to look and see. I used to have a link for one or two of them. If I do, I'll put it down below in the description. Yeah, so like those are really, really cool because if you have those, then you will literally get paid for using your credit card. Yeah, so those are really, really awesome. And even if you don't pay them off in full every month, you could still get that cash back for using them. And at least it's something that you get back. 5% cash back for gas or 5% cash back for groceries. It actually still kind of counteracts part of the interest you pay. In fact, let me know some of your tips that you might use to maybe counteract some of the interest that you use. Certain credit cards have certain rewards, and I know a lot of people use those, which is good because if you're paying some interest, maybe you try to keep your balance low, and at least you like. I know some people use. Oh, I use this card for groceries. I use this card for gas. I use this card for restaurants or whatever, and it actually kind of helps keep things down because if you're getting some cash back, it's better than no cash back, right? Yeah. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on anything going on here. It's completely free to do so. Also, thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. Click here to see curfews going on here in the United States right now. Or the Netherlands government just collapsed and the US has the exact same problem. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.